Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Breaking Bells. What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Breaking Bells. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the baddest beast in all the land, Mr. Alex Van Aken. What is up, sir?
Hey, Bobby, how are you?
I am well, man. I am very well.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Listen, you know what's kind of funny?
What?
This is the thing that always makes me laugh, right? So,
What's
we've been
up?
doing a podcast for a very long time.
Yeah.
You know things, I know things. You know how it works, I know how it works.
Mm-hmm.
But why, when we start podcasts, we act like we haven't even talked for like 10 minutes?
I know.
Anyway,
That's how it always goes.
I know, you just act like, hey, we haven't talked at all. We just
sat in silence for 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Save it for the show, Bobby.
We're just holding off. We actually just sat there with our lights out, cameras out.
Yeah,
Literally, you had your
not a
camera
single
out.
word.
Yeah, you literally had your camera for a little bit.
I had my listen. Let me show you this. Okay. I had my nice camera all set up.
Mm-hmm.
I was good to go. Had my lighting ready. This light wasn't in the background of that shot. Have it all set up perfectly. And I'm like, okay, it's time to go on Breaking Bells.
Yeah, it didn't work.
It's time to make my debut.
It's fine. It's good. We talked about this for a very long time. You were supposed to be on when I was originally doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you were going crazy with OK Beast and all that stuff, and then and then we just couldn't coordinate it the way we wanted to. But but for those that live under a rock and don't know who you are and all that stuff, real quickly, let them know where to find you, what you do, and all that stuff.
So my name's Alex Van Aken. You can follow me on Twitter at It's Van Aken. I do podcasts, videos, all that fun stuff over at a website called okbeast.com and a YouTube channel called okbeast, youtube.com/okbeast. And every Monday I host the OKBeast podcast, and we have deep dives into different topics about the industry. We talk about our games, and I also host the world's #1 Apex Legends podcast. I don't even know if that's
how many is there.
Actually, there was at one point there was 10 or 15 of them.
Well, that's not bad then. That's good.
And then they slowly dissipated. I think there's only 2 or 3 left, and we're one of them. But
that's awesome.
But yeah, so I've been podcasting since 2015. I actually started podcasting and still podcast with my stepdad, Brandon Wilson, and so we've been doing this a few years. I've known Bobby for a while. I think I came on Nintendo Talk Live at one point. We coexist within the same spaces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have for a minute, so it's a pleasure to be back on the show, or be back podcasting with you.
Yes.
First time on Breaking Bells.
Yeah, we did Nintendo Talk Live. That was the first time you and I did anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
And
that was probably a year ago, I think.
Yeah, about a year ago.
But I mean, we've been following each other for a long time before that, so it's nice to be on here with you, Bobby.
That was pre-divorce. Now this is
pre-divorce.
Yeah.
I've been following. I know. I get it. The Bobby chronological cinematic universe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, listen, Alex, we do this little thing when we start this podcast off. Mm-hmm. We throw 3 questions at you. We're going to start off with the first question, and it's I like to do this because it helps me to kind of know the type of person I'm talking to when it comes to the lore of Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
What was the first Animal Crossing game you ever played?
So the first Animal Crossing game I played was the first one, Animal Crossing. You might call it Animal Crossing Population Growing. First one, GameCube. Mm. That's where it all started. And I've actually only played a handful of them. But the first one is one of my favorite games of all time. I think it was in the top 10 on my 50 favorite games ever. I adore that game so much.
It's a really good game. It's a really good game.
And it was at the time, I had never played anything. I think when it came out, would it come out 2001, 2000, somewhere around there? I think
202.
202. Okay.
But I think
so. I was 11 when it came out.
Wow. Okay.
And it just blew my mind. And it was one of those games that I always talk about, the real time clock that they use and how
amazing.
It blew my mind as a kid. I was like, wait, it's Christmas in the game and in real life, like that. It blew my mind as a kid. And it's funny how those simple little things that maybe we take for granted now, back in the day were just so innovative and really special.
So before we move on to how did this game Because at 11 years old, that's young. But how did
Yeah.
this game become introduced to you? Like, how did you find this game?
I want to say it was my friend. It had to have been my friend Josh, my next door neighbor. We played all sorts of games together. He was the person who got me into MMORPGs for the first time.
Okay.
We played Halo together, and we both had saved up money over the course of however long, and we both got GameCubes, and we both had Game Boy Advances, and we'd heard about Animal Crossing around school and stuff like that. Like if you go back and watch the commercials for that game,
creepy as hell.
They're so creepy. I never saw any of those.
Yeah.
So it was either through my friend Josh, or it might have even been Game Informer,
Gotcha.
or Nintendo Power or something like that.
Could have been.
And you know what? It might have even been like a Blockbuster shelf thing. Oh, what's that? And so that's kind of like how I kind of got into it. I kind of just fell into it, honestly.
Yeah.
And then from there, it kind of just hooked me.
So, did you have your own town, or did you have to share a town, or did you?
I had my own town.
Okay, so you had your own town. Did you trade towns with your friend?
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
That was always
and so
amazing.
that was next level too. And I feel like that, for some reason, that feature, in the first Animal Crossing, I don't hear a lot of people talking about doing that. Like, there was, maybe I'm talking to the wrong people, but we traded towns, and they had little trading cards that came with the game.
Yes.
That you could scan in if you had the Game Boy. I can't remember how it worked.
It was the Game Boy Advance reader, so it was the e-reader, and it hooked to the Game Boy Advance, and you swiped cards, and then it could give you items and shirts and Nintendo NES games as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I did all of that.
Okay.
And I even had the Game Boy Advance, and I had the Game Boy Advance Link
So you went to the island.
Oh, that's you got a question coming up. I know about the island.
That's
yeah.
See, so I never played with the island because when I got into Animal Crossing, it was later in the life cycle of it. So and I was forced kicking and screaming into it. So and I was kind of like Trojan horsed in. I was told like, hey, you could play the old Nintendo games.
Yeah.
So I went in thinking that, and then next thing I know, I was like, I fell in love with this game. But like, explain for those that don't know the island in those terms. Because I mean, obviously, if you played New Leaf, you know about the island. But in those terms of being like, what did you do on the island? What was the island for you?
So we did it co-op. I had my friend and we both had the Link, and so we both had our Game Boys and plugged into my GameCube. And I think, is it Tour Timer that takes you there? I can't remember who takes you there in the first game. But there's this dock at the south part of the map that is always empty.
Yes.
And then if you plug in the Game Boy Link, I believe the boat appears, or they eventually show up. You go there, and it was wild at first because I didn't know that was a thing. We were just kind of like playing around with our Game Boy Links and stuff and running around playing the game. And then we realized, wait, what's that? The boat is new, you know? And so we go, walk down, get on it, and it takes us to the island. And we're freaking out. We feel like we've just discovered, some game breaking, like, there's an island. Nobody else knows about this, Like, it was that whole sort of experience. Yeah. And I just remember fishing a lot at the island and just kind of chilling, Like,
most people that played the island, that was money. Like, you could make a boatload of money there.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's kind of pretty cool. Okay, so next question. What is your favorite Animal Crossing game?
This one's tough because the only Animal Crossing games I've played is the first one, New Leaf, and I might have played City Folk for a brief minute. So those are the two primarily ones that I played. Okay. And my love of the series comes from the first one, and I didn't play New Leaf at launch. I actually played it in 2014. I bought a 3DS finally for Animal Crossing, and for I think Smash was coming out on 3DS as well. Yeah. And so jumped in, and New Leaf is, I think Animal Crossing, the first one, Population Growing, is my favorite. But New Leaf is just, I mean, the fact that it is portable and you have the connectivity of the 3DS, like that just kind of takes that format and brings it into like the current, digital landscape, right? Yeah. Like, it's, if I'm gonna go and play an Animal Crossing today, I would go play New Leaf, Yeah. And I actually checked before this. I had my GameCube behind me in a little bin, and I thought I still had the original Animal Crossing. I don't. But So if I had to go back and play it now, it'd probably be New Leaf. But if I was gonna say just a favorite, I think Animal Crossing won. Just the way that the wonder of that game, like the curiosity, kind of hit me like a truck as a kid, and that's where my love of it comes from.
It's funny because as I've been doing this show over time, I learned two things pretty immediately. Either one, people have started with the GameCube, and that's their favorite one, or their first game was New Leaf. And it's weird because it's almost like whatever one people say is their first one is the one is their favorite. And I'm probably one of the few that says New Leaf is my favorite.
And why is that?
I think because I did play all versions, and I loved the first one, right?
Yeah.
But I think what I loved about New Leaf was they took all that was great in the first one, all that was great in the other ones, Wild World and City Folk, and just crammed them all into New Leaf. And because of the internet, like we didn't have the internet with the GameCube one. Like if you wanted to go to someone's town, like we were saying before, you had to actually borrow their memory card. And then the worst thing was you would lose a villager. Oh, it sucked. Like that was the worst. And then
I forgot about that detail.
Yeah, like if you went to someone's town, when you came back home, someone was missing. And then like you go back to that town, there they are, and it's like
they moved in.
Yeah, they moved in, and you couldn't get them back. And it was like, you know, that's the thing I like about New Leaf is they've kind of over time made changes, but there's so much change to New Leaf compared to the GameCube version. Like the GameCube version has a very soft spot in my heart. Like I will love that one forever. But New Leaf is just, they took just so much. And it's probably the longest I ever played an Animal Crossing game. Like
New Leaf.
Oh my god, I think I put like 800 hours in.
I honestly, if I had bought it when it came out originally, I'd probably be up there with you. I think at the time that I jumped in, it was kind of a lonesome experience. I didn't really know many people that were playing the game anymore, and I was wanting to go and see other people's towns, and I was wanting to do that kind of stuff. But that just wasn't there for me. I didn't really know the people who had that, and so it felt more of a lonesome experience. But I still really enjoyed it. It just felt like, I mean, it's funny talking about Animal Crossing, like, oh, it's a modern version. Like if you look at those games, like, and how they're made, like, have you ever seen the log that the whole world is just a log? It's fun. It's looking at that and then also calling it like a modern piece of tech is like a funny. I don't know.
I remember when I played Wild World for the first time, and I was like, I hate this game because it felt like you were on a log. It felt like the world was rolling forward. I was like, I don't like this. I like the Zelda type world where you like went and you like moved over.
Static.
And, like I love that. I was like, I think that's what made me kind of fall in love with population growing at first. Because it reminded me of Zelda.
It's a little different.
But it reminded me of Zelda the way you move through the world, you know? And I was like, but then like when I went to Wild World, I was just like, I don't like how this world rotates like a log. Like I hate it. But I slowly started to like Wild World a little bit. There was things I liked, things I didn't like. City Folk was weak sauce. City Folk was a lot like Wild
That's
World.
where they really developed a lot of. I mean, I'm glad that game came to it. I never played that game, but from what I've researched and like kind of just watched over the years, that's where a lot of like I mean, it's called City Folk for a reason, but that's where like a lot of the bigger metropolitan shops came from, right? That are in New Leaf. It comes from City Folk.
Exactly. And what I love about every game I have a special moment with every game. Like all of them, and the one that I love about, or the moment, or not the moment, but the thing I love about City Folk so much is I met people in that game that I'm still friends with today. 15 years ago, there's a kid. I'm trying to get him to come on an episode before Horizons launches. He's a Twitch streamer now. I met this kid when he was 15 years old.
Wow.
And we were talking through the Wii Speak. And every day I hung out with this kid. I was 30, right? I'm 30, he's 15. Every single day I'm hanging out. We're doing stuff together. We're like trading, doing all this stuff. And it's like, here I build a relationship where now today, like I'm Facebook friends with his mom, his little brother,
Wow.
Him, like we still talk all the time. Like it's amazing, you know. So that's probably the greatest thing that I love about this game is you have these relationships you build through the game that are just lasting forever because it's like a weird bond with that game.
I have something similar, not with Animal Crossing, but Gears of War, actually. A friend of mine, Brittany, like, we connected when that game first came out, and similar story. Like, you just keep up with each other. Like, I know her brother, I know her, like, I know her friends.
Yeah.
I now know her fiance. It's, like, so weird how, like, those connections can go with you for so long. And I feel like that's kind of, like, at the core of what Animal Crossing is, you know? Like, there's a lot of those. That's, like, the point, you know? Yeah. So that's really cool.
Does your wife play Animal Crossing?
She does not. My wife doesn't really. Kayla plays puzzle games a lot.
Okay.
She loves puzzle games. But she, like, if it's on her phone, she'll play it. She'll play Rocket League with me occasionally. I've thought about getting her a Switch Lite and just filling it up with like Picross and Tetris and all the great puzzle games. Because
I mean, listen, if you lived in the UK, you get brain
I know.
brain age.
Yep,
You know?
I know, right? I have a UK account. So.
I know, so do I. So I tease.
Yeah. But
have you ever like showed her the game? Does she know the game at all or no?
You know what? I don't know if I have.
Well, you might want to introduce her to, because the crazy thing is like I feel like most people that I talk to as well that were married. Yeah. People that are married, typically that's a relationship building between the husband and wife. Like Adam Leonhardt, he talked about him and Christy, they play all the time together. Yeah. And then like N64 Josh, that was his thing, like a relationship. Wow. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. And when the guy that introduced me to it, when he gave me his town, and I went in and looked at his town, dude, he had like a journal with all these like love letters to his wife, and like the bulletin board. You go through the bulletin board, and there'd be daily love letters to her and stuff. And I was just like, dude, this is amazing. Like it was weird because I felt like I was imposing, but it was so cool to like see what these people were doing with the game. Yeah, it's pretty.
Who is this person?
Which
That's
one?
Wild. The love letters.
My friend Jim. He's the one that introduced me to Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
So it's pretty. Because what happened was he introduced me to it, and I was like, dude, you told me there was NES games in this thing. There's no NES games in this thing. Yeah. And he was like, well, I got to give you my town. So then finally he gave me his town, and I went to his town and went into his basement.
He had it all.
Yeah, in the basement he had it all. So I go into his house, but like I go to his house and I go upstairs, and there was a journal, like the little diary upstairs. And I went up and I opened the diary, and there was like all these notes back and forth between him and his wife. And then I went to his wife's house, and there was letters so they would basically write each other love letters each day. Wow. And then like I said on the bulletin board, they had love letters and stuff to each other. And I was like, that's so cute.
I know. That's special, man. That's awesome.
It is.
Wow.
So, okay. So your wife doesn't play. You play. Mm-hmm. Population. What is your fondest memory of Animal Crossing through the years?
I mean, the island's up there, but I think I love when I just love the opening moments of Animal Crossing so much when you're coming in on the train and you're like, I don't know, like I remember being so curious about what it was, and then you get off the train. I can't remember if KK Slider greets you or if somebody else does. I think he might be before that in the intro sequence, but I just remember like falling in love with like just the whimsy and the weirdness of the game and its characters. But I think one memory would probably be going to the island, I think. Yeah. I know we already talked about it, but nothing really tops that for me with Animal Crossing. You know, I do the moment when like new villagers come in and they're moving in, there's like that cool excitement around it. That's a really special moment too. Yeah. But I think the island, discovering that in the first game, that was just so cool.
So, okay. I never knew that you played Animal Crossing until one night.
One night?
Well,
which night?
Let me get to the point. Okay, so I'm streaming the Nintendo Direct, and they announce Animal Crossing, and I just lose my my crap. I'm just like flipping out all over the place.
Yeah.
And you're like, Bobby, I'm crying. I'm like, you're like, I'm so happy, I'm crying. I'm like, dude, so am I. And like, that's when I realized, like, wait a minute, Alex plays this game. Like, wait, like, and then we kind of talked a little bit. And then like as time went on, and we kind of talked a little bit through podcasting or different thing, like different chat sessions, like if I was streaming and you come into a chat or whatever, we started to talk about like what we wanted from New Horizons. Yeah. I think we both had expectations prior to what Nintendo showed us what it was.
Correct.
I haven't talked to you since they actually showed, but what was your takeaway from when they showed us the game?
When at the end of that trailer, when everybody's running to the beach together, I lost there, because the one thing I wanted was to be able to play the game and have like a community of people, a large scale environment with everybody in there, you know. And I think when they kind of showed that off, I was like, man, okay, this is it. Like, this is Animal Crossing. This is the next step of Animal Crossing. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna have everything that we love already, but this just takes it to the next level of, man, we're doing this together. We're meeting. We're going fishing together. We're going looking for fossils. Or even if we're just like doing our own separate things, like the fact that there is this, like, what is it, 8-player? I think 8-player connectivity. Yeah, like it's just, that is monumental for me. And then when I found out that there was crafting, and that is like, because one of the questions was, okay, you know, like Stardew Valley's like trying to be something similar, you know, and there's like a lot of options and there's a wealth of things to do in that game. And I was like, okay, well, what's Animal Crossing look like in 2020? Well, at the time in 2019 and 2020, what's that look like compared to something, you know, that is, you know, more up to date or more feature rich like Stardew? And so when they answered that with the 8-player multiplayer, and they answered that with crafting, I'm ready, man. I'm so ready.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you.
What about you? Like, what was your, because you said, we didn't really talk about it.
We didn't talk about it. I mean, so in my mind's eye, it's crazy, because like in your mind's eye, right, you know what Animal Crossing is. You know what you're going to do day one. Like, I had this ritual of, okay, day one starts, I talk to Tom Nook, he puts me into debt, I know what I'm doing, now I'm going to pay off my first loan. And I go down to the beach, and I start fishing, and I start catching everything. First fish I catch goes right to the museum. Second species, that's the same, like duplicates, go right to retail in New Leaf. I sell them off, and I pay off my loan in day one. Like,
holy cow!
Love it. The tent one. Pay that off.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Now we're doing our thing, right? Now that day 2, I'm back down. I'm fishing. I'm doing the grind. Like, I did that. I got it down to such a rhythm that I would have my house bought in 2 weeks. That's just awesome. Because I would just boom, 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 boom. So I'm already in my mind plotting. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. Yeah. And then Nintendo shows us what they showed us, and I'm like, I'm scared. Like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, and I remember when I was a kid, I loved Zelda 1. Yeah. And then they started shipping this NES poster with all games and all consoles. And my cousin and I both had them hanging on our walls. In the bottom right-hand corner, it was like screenshots of all these different Nintendo games. Yeah. And the bottom right-hand corner was The Legend of Zelda 2. And Link is standing upright. And I was like, I'm afraid of this game. Because I don't know what it is. I know what Zelda 1 is. I know what most sequels are supposed to be like. But this is not like what I'm ready for. Yeah. That's the same feeling I got. So I got taken back to being like a 13, 14-year-old boy. And immediately like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. But then it immediately turned to just excitement. Because for me, when I saw them actually like taking a trowel and making paths, I was like, game on. Because I do that. I make paths. Like, my town had paths. They had patterns all over. Like, I would go all the extra mile, man. I had like little pathways with like flowers lining the pathways and shrubs.
Oh, that's
and,
awesome.
Yeah. I went all 9. Like, yeah. So I just got excited because I thought, okay, here we go. This is going to be like, I can actually put pass down. Then I don't have to worry about guests coming in and kicking them up. And then I have to go back. I literally had 2 people living in my town. One was my landscaper or my maintenance guy who had all the patterns on him. Yeah. So like once a week, I'd bring him out and go replace all the patterns on the ground that got kicked up or whatever. Yeah. So that stuff got me excited, like not knowing anything. And then the crafting, I think what I'm most excited about is I have more questions about this game than answers. Yeah. And I like that because
me too, honestly.
You know, like we know it's almost like Breath of the Wild. Like you know what a goblin is, a bogoblin. You know what, all the different enemies are. But you just don't know how they interact with the world. You don't know how it all happens. And it's very similar. You know what I mean? Like, we know what the shovel is. We know what the fishing pole is. We know what they all do. But how does it work with this world? So it's really interesting. I think,
yeah. And I think those, like, and I kind of hope that they don't give us all the answers, Like, I feel like the reason that I fell in love with the series in the first place was that discoverability. And, when you're like you kind of go to bed one night, you get up, you come out of your house the next day, whatever, like day night passes essentially, and then suddenly there's a new holiday event going on, like, and I know that that aspect of things is probably not going to change too much. I imagine like they'll probably have like the typical holidays, but like I think that where my enjoyment for all that comes from is just that discoverability that, I don't know what's coming next, right? You know what I mean? And so I hope that this game kind of maintains that spirit. And I hope that the inclusion of other players doesn't ruin that in any way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. One more question before we kind of move into like other stuff, but like who's your favorite character? We'll say NPC, and well, they're all NPCs really. That's a stupid question. But like, who's your favorite like villager, and then who's your favorite, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, sure.
Isabelle or whatever.
NPC, yeah. Named or more prominent.
Yes.
I really like Celia from New Leaf, villager-wise. I like Egbert a lot.
Okay.
And then I can't remember their name. There was what's his name? Decker? Not Decker. It's a green duck. And his trait is like he is kind of clumsy and oh gosh, I think it might be Decker or something like that.
Is that the sports one? Is it that has like the hockey thing on his head?
No, he's green. It's a green duck. And then I was a fan from the first game. There was a frog. I can't remember. I'm not good at the names. I'll be honest.
Listen, there's a lot. There's a lot of animals. There's like 900.
But I remember Egbert. I remember that name from like. Some of the games, and I remember liking Egbert's. He always had these cheesy sayings about like eggs and stuff. And then favorite NPC is favorite is Mr. KK Slider. I got the pin.
Yeah, man.
He's right here.
I love KK.
I play guitar, as you can see in the background, and I've always loved KK Slider. Even before I played music, I just thought he was such a cool character.
Question. Did you see the thing that Nintendo put out this week?
No. What?
Nintendo tweeted that they have just announced a 50 tour date concert for the Squid Sisters. Not the Squid Sisters, for Marina and Pearl.
Okay.
So they do this thing where it's kind of like how Tupac was on the stage with years ago. They do this thing where they show up and they sing. KK opens for them. Dude, go check it out. It's on their Twitter page. It's an hour long. It's amazing. And like you see him pop up, and like the crowd's going nuts. And
Nintendo of America?
No, I wish I'd be there like an idiot. Like I'd be there day one.
Yeah,
it's so dumb. But it's so wonderful. The biggest elephant in the room besides me. What do you feel like Animal Crossing will be delayed? Because we get hit with a lot of delay bugs lately. Yeah. Do you think or are we going to get it on March 20th?
I think we're getting it on March 20th.
Okay.
I'm 98% confident.
How did you?
I feel like we thought we were getting it in 2019.
Yeah.
Never happened. And I can't remember if that was officially delayed or if they just kind of
that was officially delayed because they were they in the original trailer, Tom Nook sitting at the desk after they announced Isabelle for Smash. It said 2019.
Yeah.
And then at E3 when they announced it, they put the date and it was March 20th, 2020.
Yeah, I think if they knew that far back then, I feel like they were to announce the date at E3 for the following year, like the exact date. I feel like I have confidence in that. Yeah. Versus if they're like spring 2020, I have less confidence. Yeah,
that'd be like we're not.
The fact that 9 months earlier they announced the specific day, March 20th, 2020. I have confidence in that. But
so we are officially 56 days away from the release. I literally went through and counted, like, for every episode that I'm doing up until the launch. Because every Friday night, up until we launch this game, we're going to have a live episode here.
56, you said?
56 days right now. That's where we sit.
That's not bad at all.
That's not bad at all, man. That's a beautiful thing. I'm going to love as each week happens, we click and we get closer and closer and closer.
Oh, that's awesome.
So my question to you is, we're within 2 months of it. Do you think we're getting an Animal Crossing centric direct?
I think so because I think it depends on if they have another direct in February announcing their slate of 2020 games, because we haven't gotten that yet.
Yeah, which I think we are.
Yeah, I think we are too. And so I would imagine that early March they want to get a big marketing push out there.
Yeah.
All right, game's coming out in 20 days. We got to make the big push.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing Direct. Tune in for 15 minutes or 20 minutes on Animal Crossing news. And I think that's where they will. I don't know what they would get into specifically.
That's a tough thing. It's weird because
maybe villagers.
I mean,
maybe I don't know if they want to announce new villagers. I don't know.
Okay, what would you want answered from a direct? Like, what does Nintendo need to tell you in a direct?
Nothing.
Really? You don't want to know nothing at all.
The less I know, the better. That's just me. But I guess I would want to know how exactly the 8-player connectivity works. And because I feel like they kind of have been talking about that, but they haven't gone into specific detail on how that works, Yeah. Is that do I pick 8 people and the 8 of us all have our, community and that's that? Or is it every time I log in, are there new people running around? Like, what does that piece look like?
Yeah.
Can I lock off? Can I pick who's allowed to be in my game world or whatever? I want to know about that.
Yeah.
And I want to know about more of the crafting, maybe like how far does that go? You know what I mean? So
I think the biggest question I have is, where does crafting come into play and where does stores come into play?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I know that I can make a shovel, but what is that in terms of, do I always make a shovel, or can I just go to Nookington's and buy a shovel? You know what I mean? Like, does Nookington's even show up? Does retail show up? We know the Able sisters are there because they just put out a piece of merchandise that had Mabel.
Mabel, yeah.
She was on the thing, her and Blathers. So that kind of told us, like, the museum should come in. But, like, when does that stuff come in? How does it come in? Like, that's the questions I have. And I don't need to know, like, hey, you need to do this, 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 and this to unlock this. I just need to know there are things you have to do to unlock these things, and you'll get them. Like,
I wonder. That's a good question, because it could be the case where in Stardew you make, and I know I keep referencing Stardew, but in Stardew you make a pickaxe and then you take it to the store, and at the store you can upgrade it and that sort of thing. So, but I feel like that's
tough,
a very
right?
good question. Yeah,
it's
that's
tough.
a very good question.
It's like,
I think there will be a store for basic stuff. Like, okay, I caught a bunch of fish. I want to go sell it.
See,
I think that'll be there.
See, when I was having a conversation with Adam, because that's his biggest fear is the crafting. He's afraid of, like, what if I have to build an axe, right? I'm just using the axe just because it's on top of my head.
Sure. Yeah.
But what if I have to build an axe and I'm just not at that level where the resources I need to build that axe are available? Do I get frustrated and stop building? Or is it one of those things of like, hey, here's a silver axe in the store, but you have to like get to the store to get the silver axe, or the gold axe, right? But you can build a weak axe that maybe breaks after 10 chops all the time, or whatever. Like
maybe it's blueprints even at the shop.
Possible, So it's kind of interesting where we are with that. So you think we're gonna get a direct? I'm beginning of the year. I thought absolutely we're getting a direct. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Math man, I'm gonna answer your question in a second. I just want to get through these points real quick. But the thing is like I felt like it was, but as we get closer and closer and closer, I think I don't know. Like I just don't know. You know.
They could just include it at the end of, presumably at the end of like the bigger direct that we're likely going to get.
Yeah, that's possible. They could throw some stuff in there. See, I always
last
felt
10 minutes is Animal Crossing. You know.
Here's my thing, and maybe you feel differently than I do. I don't feel like Animal Crossing shows well.
I agree with that.
Like for you and I, we get hyped because we can break down that stuff.
We understand.
Yes.
We understand. Yeah.
Yes. But I think for like people in the chat, even right now, that aren't into Animal Crossing, don't know what Animal Crossing is, never played it or whatever, they watch that stuff, and where you and I are getting excited, they're just like, so what? They got a trowel. So what? You know what I mean? Like, oh,
cool. You can plant stuff. Cool.
Yeah. So what? Like, oh, they pole vaulted across the water. Who cares? Like, but for us, it's like, no, you don't understand. Like, this is next level stuff for us. Yeah. So So I just always have felt like it doesn't show well. It's not a good thing.
What I think they need to do, I don't know how they would do this considering like the framework of Animal Crossing, a demo. But I don't know that it's not like Animal Crossing has like, oh, the demo code goes up to level 2, you know, like that. Yeah. That's not a thing. So how do you? Maybe it's like one of the other, like the Octopath demo that was you get 3 hours or whatever it was to play the game.
That would probably make sense to me. Like for me, I would think Nintendo would say like you get to play the game for 5 hours, and whatever you do in that game, if you buy the game, it carries over.
Yeah.
To me, it would make a lot of sense for Nintendo. You know what I mean? Like,
and if you buy the game, you get access to the full connect. Like you can carry over your stuff, and then you can merge your world with other people, and you can play with people.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the move.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I have a question for you, and I'm sorry if this is on your doc to get to.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Do you think we're getting a Animal Crossing themed bundle?
It is on my. How did you? Of course, you know I'm going to ask this question. Why would you ask?
I mean, everybody's wondering, right?
At this point, man, I don't know. I would have thought they would have announced it by now.
Me too.
You would think.
They've got all this merch coming in from Japan that you can import.
And that's what I want to get into. So
okay.
So let's talk about the merch. And before we get into that, let's answer Math Man. Math Man asked,
sure.
Do you think there'll be any amiibo functionality in this game?
Yes.
I mean, dude, you got to think of it like this way, right? They got like 20-something different amiibo. 400 amiibo cards. So like the ability's there to do it.
I forgot about the cards too.
Yeah, man.
I'm not an amiibo. I have a couple of amiibo, but I'm not knowledgeable on all that. But
Alex, let me give you a little.
Yeah, Bobby, do you collect amiibo?
Let me tell you a little thing about this idiot here. Not only do I have all the Animal Crossing amiibo, I have all the Animal Crossing amiibo cards.
You have the cards too.
Yes, I have every single one, all 4 series. There's only 3 things I don't have.
Okay.
There was a Hello Kitty series of cards that were put out in Japan only. Don't have them. And there was 2 cards, a KK Slider and an Isabelle, that they're like the characters are dressed specifically. They were specifically released in Japan in a magazine, and they're valued at like $500 a piece.
Wow.
So I didn't import them. I thought like we got to draw the line somewhere. You know? crazy towns over there, and we're gonna just kind of stay over here a little.
We're
bit.
right on the outskirts. We can see the city sign.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Nintendo is done with Amiibo. Other than Smash, I think it's donezo. I think that Animal Crossing, because here's the thing with Amiibo functionality in New Leaf, to me it broke the game. In terms of if you had Amiibo cards, you could scan in any villager you wanted to come in.
Yeah, that's not fun.
And
to me,
it's fun to some degree, but it's not fun out the gates. Like, I just think of it like this: if I did that, right? If I had that from the outskirts of New Leaf, I never would have found I never would have found Marshall, and Marshall's one of my favorites now.
Yeah,
you know, like I never would have found some other ones that slowly became my favorites. You know what I mean? Like I had my core,
because you would have imported your old favorites.
I would have always kept bringing the GameCube ones along and all that stuff. It's like Pokemon, how they cut off. You know, they didn't bring in They want you to learn these new characters. So I get that. You know what I mean? Like I understand. Yeah. So part of me thinks they're not going to bring it in, or they're going to bring it in later with an update and say, oh, by the way, if you have your cards a year in, you can use your cards again or whatever. I just don't. Part of me thinks they're not going to do anything. I don't think we're going to get special Amiibo.
This.
Yeah, but I think they might. I mean, dude, there's still Amiibo all over the place, man. Like, you go to Five Below, they're in there.
Oh, even at my Target. They're still at my Target.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk merch and let's talk consoles. So, have you seen any of the new merch coming out?
I have. I took a look at the second wave had the little game cartridges, the little capsules. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen those?
No, I haven't. Okay.
It was one of the Japan imports. And they're like these little,
I did. I know you're talking about.
Okay. Kind of like the iPod.
Yes.
Earbud cases, but they're for game cartridges.
Yeah.
And I almost ordered some, but I was like, am I gonna use this? And I'm like, if I want to save my money, in case that Switch Lite comes out, that's what I really want. And if that happens, listen, Bobby, I have never purchased a video game themed console before. I've never gone after if I own the console, that's it. I don't need the special edition.
Yeah, okay.
If they release an Animal Crossing Switch Lite, day one.
So I have four Switch Lites on the shelf behind me.
I'm eyeing them in the back.
Yeah,
they look very nice.
I got four Switch Lites back there. I have the Pokemon Switch out in the living room, still in the box. I've got a Switch sitting right here. If that thing comes out day one, I'm punching babies in the throat. I'm doing what I gotta do to get one. Like, it is happening. I don't care. Okay, here's my sickness. Here's my level of sickness of collecting. I have imported some stuff from Japan. I have some stuff coming already.
Okay, what'd you get?
I can't even remember. How bad is that? Like, I bought, let me look it up while I'm sitting here. There was some stuff that I imported from Amazon Japan that, here it is. So I got, that was something else, right? Here we go. Well, let me look it up here. It's crazy you could go to Amazon Japan and get whatever you want, right? That's just
I know.
Nuts.
I've never done it before, so I need to look into this.
Actually, I'm sorry. I lied. That's the stuff that I got from Amazon United States. I bought I bought the both Pro controllers. The Powerade Pro controller. I bought both of them. So they're coming in. I bought the I bought the stand. So I bought the stand.
That looked nice.
And I think I bought one of the I bought the cases for the Switch Lite.
So I'm looking right now. The regular, they have like the skin for the regular Switch.
I bought that. I bought the skin for the Switch Lite. The one that actually the Switch Lite sets in, and it has like it looks like a back faceplate for it. So I bought that. I bought the two Switch Lite cases, and I bought the stand for the Switch.
Man, this looks so.
It's crazy, right?
What am I doing looking at this? I'm about to buy something, but Oh, it's a 2-pack too. Yeah, the little capsules with like I just like the design of those. Like, am I going to use them? No. Do they spark joy? Yes. So.
Will your wife beat you up if you actually import them?
Those are like $10.
Okay,
so
you can get away with that. You can get away with that.
Yeah, those are fine.
So here's the other problem I have.
Mm-hmm.
I want to buy. So I literally right now, this is no lie, hand to God, 3 versions of Animal Crossing pre-ordered already, physicals. I got one from Best Buy.
Through where? Yeah.
Best Buy, GameStop, and Target.
Okay. What are the differences?
So Best Buy comes with a sticker of KK Slider, or no, of Tom Nook. Tom Nook that goes on the back of your phone.
Okay.
I'm like, why did I buy this? But originally that was the first one that came out, so I jumped on that one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
GameStop hasn't announced what their pre-order thing is. So I've kind of held it. When I talked to the manager, she said they might be putting out a plushie. So I might grab that one. I haven't decided yet. Because I do in my shelf right here, as you can see.
I see them.
I
can see Rossetti.
Yeah. I got Rossetti and I got Kicks and I got Brewster back there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have my collection back there. So that's what it is. So I might hang on to that one. I don't know. Depends on how the plushie looks, whatever. But then Target put out a journal. And the journal is actually
I did see that.
A calendar and a diary type thing. And I was like, man, I like that. Like, I like that a lot. So, because what I thought of was, how cool would it be to just keep a daily journal of like...
Document your experience?
Document my experiences, but not only that, document like, hey, you want to do this tomorrow. So go, like, mark it down.
That's cool.
Like, or put on there, because like, I'm big with... hey, this fish is available at this time. So, like, keep track of it. Like, write it down and keep track of it. So, I thought I might do that with the journal. I don't know. But I'm going to cancel the Best Buy one. I don't need that.
Yeah, the sticker.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I do also plan on importing the Japanese version.
Is that just for collection?
That's just for collection.
Okay.
That's just for collection sake, because I want the Japanese text on it.
Yeah.
The one that I actually will own and buy and have... I have a Japanese account on my Switch. I'm going to download it 12 hours early.
Oh.
So I'm going to actually start playing it, hopefully, 12 hours early.
Yeah.
So hopefully they don't pull something and go like, oh, by the way, because you download the Japanese version, it doesn't play in English until 12 hours go by or something crazy like that, you know?
It's not region locked or
no,
anything?
No,
well, you can play with other people, right?
That's the other thing. It's not region locked. So I just thought, you know, it'd be nice to have this thing early, and get it and go. So that's where I'm at with that stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped about it. So the other thing with merch that's not really related to the game, but I don't know how much you've been paying attention to the Japanese store that just opened, the Nintendo store that opened up there. Dude, they have.
I have not.
Oh my god, dude, Alex. So we had.
Oh wait, I actually heard about this because I think my buddy Bob Wolf was trying. He planned his trip to Japan to line up with the launch of the Nintendo store when Pokemon Sword and Shield came out.
Okay.
But it got delayed or something.
Okay.
And so I think I'm familiar with it, but I don't know the extent of it.
First off, the line is anywhere from a half an hour to 3 hours long just to get in.
No.
A lot of people, you know how Disney does fast, or used to do fast passes, where you would go up and you would like get a card that would tell you what time to come back.
Yeah.
They're doing that at the store. You go in, they hand you a pass and say, come back in 3 hours. And you just go do whatever. And then you go back, you hand the card, they let you in, right? But they have the most amazing Animal Crossing area where you could buy pots and pans with Animal Crossing characters on them.
Oh.
Mixing bowls, jars, pens for... and I only knew this because my wife used to do this when we were married, and she used to do like a journal, so washi tape that the girls put into the journals or the day planners. So that was the thing that they sold. They sold stickers for the journals as well, dish towels, like all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, I just want to walk into Nintendo New York and go, guys, let me show you something. See this stuff? And scroll through and say, this is what we want here, not the garbage you have on the shelves here. Like, talk to who you need to talk to. Get this stuff over here. Like, this is just crazy to me. So I don't know.
I did finally get to go to the Nintendo store in New York.
Did you?
Back in October. That's my first time in New York.
Ooh.
And I stayed 5 blocks from the Nintendo store.
Oh.
And so I just, that was awesome.
Amazing. So amazing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So so Alex gets New Horizons.
Mm-hmm.
In your mind's eye, like, what are you doing day one? Like, what's your...
Yeah. Day one, I want to run around the overworld and see what's there.
Yeah.
See who's there and kind of get a lay of the land. And I want to figure out like that whole like vaulting over rivers. Is that something I have to upgrade to do, or is that I want to see all that stuff?
Yeah.
And then I just want to see. I'll probably honestly dive into. I'm trying to convince my stepdad Brandon to get this game because he loves building. And he loves like Minecraft. He loves No Man's Sky. Like he loves all of those sorts of games. I think he would love this game.
Yeah. And
I want us to get into a lobby and just like figure out how deep that crafting goes, and what the level of customization is going to be. So then I know what to farm.
Yeah.
I like fishing personally. I really like fishing.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of zen for me. So that'll probably be what I start with.
Do you have any tips for fishing for people? Like what's your easy way to catch fish?
Man, I just luck out. I don't even know if I've ever put too much thought into it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
I close my eyes and listen.
I like fishing in the evening. I don't know.
I love that. But I close my eyes and listen. Because if you watch,
you're such a nerd.
I am a nerd. Because the thing is, man, stop. No,
I love it.
Because what happens is when I watch, I always like. I'm just like premature, man. I'm just quick on the draw, and I just hit it early, and I'm like, God, I just missed a shark. And I would always get nervous when I would see big fish. I'd get nervous. So I always learned that, like, if I just close my eyes and listen, it's like bloop, bloop, psh, and I would push the button and got it every time.
Yeah.
So you can borrow that tip and see how it
works. I actually do something similar. I've been playing Stardew lately, kind of getting me ready for Animal Crossing. Mm-hmm. And I do something similar in that, actually. Like, I actually play a lot while I watch TV. Mm-hmm. And so I'll have one headphone and I just listen, and it's like, psh, and then, there I go.
So here's the thing. You've mentioned Stardew numerous times. Right, during this. Do you feel Stardew is like Animal Crossing, or do you feel like it's some similarities but really not?
I think it is. I think there's a spectrum. On one side there is sandbox, and on the other is kind of that like community routine day to day. Like Animal Crossing isn't quite a sandbox, or at least in the past it wasn't, but it was more like a simulation, right? Yeah. And I feel like Stardew is more so on like the sandbox side of things, and whereas like Animal Crossing is more so on the simulate. Like I think they're similar, but I don't think that they are, the same experiences for sure. Yeah. And I honestly really only recently got into Stardew, so that's why I'm kind of talking about it. I don't really have like a huge love for that game like I do Animal Crossing. Yeah. I just am kind of itching for like a village to kind of explore and kind of connect with, you know what I mean?
I got you. I mean, I understand completely.
And that aspect is there in that game.
It's definitely there. Yeah. Okay, so before we wrap, final question I got for you. We talked about special editions. We both want a special edition. Mm-hmm. What is Alex's perfect special edition? Like, what gets you hyped up? What's like, this is what I definitely want? Because let's be fair, if it's a stupid design, you might not get it. But what would make you go like, I don't care, I'm gonna like steal my wife's credit card and buy this thing? Like what does that?
Special edition I want the special edition console, but in that I would love a little diorama of the village included. Like there was something, what game was that recently came out? It might have been a recent Sonic game I saw, and I'm not a Sonic guy, so I didn't get it, but it was like a diorama of Green Hill Zone. Okay. Of like portions of that. And I would love like a little, 4x4 diorama of Animal Crossing Village, and just to kind of display on my work desk. Like I would love that. Yeah. But I think like more realistically, I don't know if we're getting that, but I think I want like something similar to the turquoise Switch Lite
Okay.
Maybe more so like more of a green to kind of match the brand of Animal Crossing. But yeah, I don't want them to go. I'm scared about. I mocked up a few months ago. I mocked up like a faux like Switch design that of like what I would want it to look like.
Yeah.
And it was like fake wood paneling and like green buttons and like I want something really like minimal.
Yeah.
Like I want subtlety is like the best thing in design.
I mean, that's the one thing that Animal Crossing is known for. It's very minimalistic.
Exactly.
It's really laid back with what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you looking more for a Switch Lite, or would you like a full on? You don't want a full on.
No, because I've been wanting to get a Switch Lite.
Okay. Okay.
As like I rarely dock my Switch.
Okay.
But I have to keep my Switch for like capturing footage.
Yes.
And that sort of like the whole content creator thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta keep my Switch for that.
That makes sense.
But I play my Switch in handheld mode 95% of the time, if not more. And I like the fact that the Switch Lite is a little smaller, a little lighter. It's got that smaller screen, so the pixel per inch is more dense. So the screen is a little crispier.
Yeah.
Battery, like all that stuff. Like, and my buddy Ian that I work at OK Beast with, I went to his house recently and he had the turquoise Switch Lite.
Yeah.
And I picked it up and I was just like, man, this is.
It feels nice. It really does.
Yeah.
It feels nice in the hand. Okay, so you want the Switch Lite. You're looking
maybe Pop-Tart design or something, just something minimal. Like, that's kind of what I'm looking for there. And if that's all it is, I'd be happy. But yeah, I don't know.
I think what's got me a little bit shocked is they haven't even talked about it yet. Mm-hmm. And you would think, because here's my thinking with this particular game. Mm-hmm. There's still a lot of people that don't own Switches.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that will buy a Switch when Animal Crossing comes out. Like, the Animal Crossing community is very rabid. You know what I mean? And they only play Animal Crossing. And that's it. And they're still playing New Leaf right now. They're waiting for this new one to come out, right? So, and Animal Crossing over time has been shown that most of the players, a good majority of the players, are women. Mm-hmm. The Switch Lite is owned by majority women.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Doug Bowser released a statistic that more women own the Switch Lite than men. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's a no-brainer, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you're everything,
just looking at the math of it, it's like why not?
Looking at statistically,
because home run.
Exactly, because the thing is with Animal Crossing, they geared that game to be for women. Like, when they did the original game, they put a woman on staff to kind of help the guys feminize it a little bit and to soften it a little bit. And then now it's run by a majority a female team that makes that game as time has grown. Like, so it just, to me, just makes a lot of sense, and I don't understand why they haven't announced anything at all. I mean, listen, they did numerous 3DS and 2DSs.
Yep.
It just doesn't.
Even like the 2DS XL, like there's a Animal Crossing one in Japan.
I imported it.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's gorgeous. You know what I mean?
Me too.
It's crazy. You know, and again, like you said, very minimalistic. You know, it's got like this mint green on the outside with a little leaf cut out in the cover,
dude.
And it's like a dark green on the inside, and then you open it, and it's like an olive type color, and then like green buttons. It's like, oh, this is amazing. You know,
I'm
gorgeous.
not a fan of like when I'm carrying around, like I've got my Switch right here, like I'm carrying around my Switch. And I honestly wish I'd gotten the neon Joy-Cons when they came out.
Yeah, me too.
But I went with gray because I'm the type of person, I don't want my stuff to scream gamer. You know what I mean? Like, even though I'm like wearing like a Game Maker's Toolkit shirt, whatever. But I like subtlety a lot.
No, I got you.
And so like, if you remember, I know this isn't a PS4 show. Do you remember the PlayStation, the Star Wars Battlefront PlayStation that had Vader stuck to the side?
And,
I was like,
I almost bought the PS4 controller for that because I was like, it reminds me of Vader. And it's stupid. Yeah. It was so ugly, but I was just like,
I know, it was hideous.
It's awesome, man. You know what I mean? Like,
but I do prefer the like you just described, like the 2DS XL. Man, that thing is like, I've seen pictures of that thing, so crisp, so minimal.
Yeah.
There's like a beautiful aspect to it. You know what I mean? Yes. It goes for that like aesthetic more than that like gamer cool. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's a different attitude.
Yeah.
Product design, and that's what I prefer. And I really hope that they give us something, man. Ugh.
Oh, it would be so. Now, for me personally, I want the full on.
Yeah.
Just because I want Joy-Cons, I want a dock that has like characters on it. I want the back plate on the. Like, I just want them to go full bore. To the point.
Honestly,
where,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say to the point where if I don't get it, I'm just going to start like getting someone to do some custom work to one for me. You know, because I want one so bad.
I know that we are kind of like, man, where's it at? You know.
Yeah.
But I could see Animal Crossing is so big for Nintendo, and honestly, I think there's a lot of people that still have never played Animal Crossing, and there's a lot of hype going into this game, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to capitalize on. I could even see them, with it being such like a fervent fan base, I could see them making a custom Switch Lite and a custom Switch, 2 different designs.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think that's like a bit.
They've done something before like that, haven't they? Or is that unprecedented?
I think that might be unprecedented.
Oh, dang, man.
It would be. I mean, they've done stuff with Zelda, but not the same exact time.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It really, because I'm even shocked that we didn't get a collector's edition of this game.
Yeah.
Like, that actually floors me more than the console.
Yeah.
I really expected, because here's the thing, right? So for, oh man, like 4 games now, they put out these collector's coins.
Mm-hmm.
Where at Best Buy, where with
I got the Mario Odyssey one.
I got Breath of the Wild, I got Mario Odyssey, I got the heck was the other one? Smash. And then they just put out one with Pokemon Sword and Shield. So I have all 4 that Best Buy has done.
Yeah.
I was totally expecting that. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
No announcement of a Steelbook anywhere. Like they did a Steelbook.
An art book would be a
Nothing.
home run, yeah.
I just don't understand. It's almost like I wonder if, and I'm really curious. I wonder if Amiibo Festival and the Amiibo scared Nintendo a little bit because that game was such a flop, and Amiibo really didn't do anything for Nintendo. Animal Crossing Amiibo. Let me correct that. I just think that Nintendo's a little very conservative with it. Like, let's just see how this thing sells first.
Yeah.
I mean, like, dude, they announced Pokemon immediately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was right there.
It was like, here's the Switch Lights. Oh, by the way, here's your Pokemon. Like, they've done 2 special edition Pokemon consoles already. Dragon Quest got a special edition. Doom got a special, not Doom. Diablo 3 got a special edition. Like, it's crazy to me that they haven't announced anything at all. It's a little, I don't know. It's a little concerning.
I don't like it, Bobby.
Neither do I. I'm a little concerned about it.
Okay, we have to make a pact right now.
Mm-hmm.
If they go on sale, you message me.
Oh, definitely.
I message you if I see them.
Definitely.
So we cannot miss them.
Definitely. Absolutely. Okay. Don't even think about it. Like, it'll happen.
All right.
Like, even to the point where, like, if I don't get a hold of you, I'll order 2, and then I'll be like,
after this, I'm as we speak right now, I am messaging you my number. So if you see this thing go on sale,
seriously, I'll reply. I'll text you back, and then we'll make it happen.
I just sent it to you.
Okay,
we have a pact now, blood pact.
I got it, and I will text.
If you don't honor your end,
I will
you
honor
die.
my end.
You'll be summoned to hell.
Oh my God! Stop it! Alex, thank you for coming on, man. This was an absolute pleasure. I had a lot of fun. Real quickly again, let people know where they can find you at all over the internet.
okbeast.com, youtube.com/okbeast. That's where the majority of my work goes up. I just finished editing some really exciting stuff. Like, so for a long time we did our show and stuff with a guy named Blessing. He just got hired by Kind of Funny. It was a good chance to kind of pivot and do some things differently and kind of greenlight some projects that I've wanted to do for a really long time. And so
absolutely,
I've been working on a really cool project for the past 4 months that I finally kind of put the bow on the first episode of, and really excited. That'll be coming to our YouTube channel over at youtube.com/okbeast. But other than that, you can follow me at It's Van Aken, listen to OK Beast podcast and Jumpmaster. Thank you for letting me plug.
No, absolutely. So what I want to do real quickly is this: I talked about how I want to announce that, or I want to just say this. I am so overwhelmingly humbled by the amount of people that jumped on board the minute I announced that I was doing this. Thank you, because literally, this is no lie. I did a wish list of guests.
Yeah,
you were number one on that list.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
I put you first because I was like, I told Alex I was going to get him on. He's the guy I want to talk to about this first. Let me get him on. But I literally have a wish list of people. And some are big. Like, some are big YouTubers.
Get on.
So, and they're actually booked right now.
Whoa, that's awesome.
So next week, I have Josh Thomas from the BitBlock, which he is Mr. Animal Crossing in my eyes. Like, that guy is huge. He does Make Believe, which if you've ever watched a Make Believe episode, my God.
I haven't.
You got to go, seriously, go research. Just type in the BitBlock, Make Believe.
BitBlock? All right.
He does full animation stuff on, like, what he wanted from the next Animal Crossing on the Wii U. And it's like, awesome. Some of the ideas Nintendo's using. Like, you see, they just picked some stuff. It's awesome.
That's rad.
I believe, I'm waiting for absolute confirmation. Hasn't completely happened yet. Because I have 2 available dates. He's taking one or the other. But Chewy plays Nintendo. Huge Animal Crossing guy on YouTube. He's agreed to come on. He's going to be on that episode. Chelsea Capri is coming back.
Oh, that's rad.
Yes. And Caro, the Nintendame, she is coming on for an episode. Lizabelle, big Twitch streamer for Animal Crossing, she's coming on. And then Tony Baker will be on from, oh my God. My mind just went blank. Quest for Pixels. Holy crap. Quest for Pixels, Tony Baker. He's coming on the final week just before Animal Crossing because he's going to Japan. So we want to talk about when he gets back and all that stuff. So every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to do a live show. Then these shows will go available on wherever iTunes, wherever podcasts are available, it'll hit across the board.
Is this kind of running up to Animal Crossing, or are you going to keep it going after it releases? Like, what's the plan with that?
I'm going right up to Animal Crossing. Mm-hmm. The day of the release. As of now, nothing. I might, but then I might do it for like another 6 weeks after to kind of bring people on and like, what do you think?
What if people really like you're a big Twitch streamer now, so like that seems like a great game to kind of.
Oh, trust me, Alex, I'm taking the whole week off.
Yeah,
I've already planned a vacation around this game. I'm taking a week off, and every single time I play the game, it'll be on stream. Nothing. Like, I'll play that game for hours on end, man.
Yeah.
First weekend, I'll play 30 hours without even blinking an eye at it. So, anyway, thank you again, Alex, for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it, man. Always. You can follow me, Instagram, Twitter, @Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.